Gamers are the worst. I fucking hate gamers. Kill all the gamers now. We need to get these gamers out of here. We need to kill these gamers right fucking now. Get all the gamers out of my house. Please put them into jail. Get the gamers away from me. I don't want these gamers to be alive. Hope you liked my epic theme song there for this episode of the Matt McMeme Show. Oh, but man, it's a crazy world that we live in. It truly is. Every day, you wake up, you learn something new, um, and it's just life is just so interesting. Like yesterday, I learned that, um, like fucking the term "going postal" that was like a real thing that happened. Like in Oklahoma, this gang of fucking postal workers went on this crazy murderous rampage. I didn't know that before, and now I know that, and that's like pretty crazy. I was like, whoa, how the fuck have I never heard about this thing where like 40 people died from a bunch of goddamn mailmen? But that's just how life is, and one of life's most continuous, most continuous sources of amazement and wonder, fascination is with gamers. Every day you live on this earth, you know in your heart that gamers are dumb, they're idiots, they're basically subhuman, and you know that, and you always keep that in the back of your mind somewhere. But you just sometimes you just see them do something that shatters even those expectations into realms of shittery previously unknown to the human condition. You know, or sometimes you just need to be reminded. Sometimes you think, hey, you know what? I've kind of isolated myself from gamers. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe things aren't quite as bad as they used to be. Get more diversity in video games. We got more women. We got more cool, epic people doing video games. Maybe it's not so bad. And then you're reminded, no, still, still not good. It's a shame. I've recently considered taking the deep dive into anti SJW gaming content, and I've already dipped my toe into that pool to a certain extent with a YouTube channel known as Upper Echelon Gamers, has made a few videos, one which you might have seen in your recommendeds if you're watching anything related to fucking video game stuff. Um, and it's dumb, It's just dumb, straw manning a lot of it, picking some really low hanging fruit. Like if you're watching a video and someone is using the Mary Sue as an argument of how these SJWs be like, that's just like a point where you're just like, okay, well, clearly you don't actually know anything. You don't actually know anything about how real life, like people who are interested in social justice act. Um, Outside of like this pretty small range of dumbasses in that regard. Um, what's funny? People talked about the Kingdom Come Deliverance. That was a bit of a thing for a while. Um, and in that video that I watched by Upper Echelon Gamers, and he has this cool ass like robot intro. It's like Upper Echelon Gamers, which I was a very big fan of. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance, I didn't even know that the developer behind it was a fucking white nationalist. Like I knew he was like a Gamergate guy, And I thought that was just the whole thing, because I'm like, you know, he's a Gamergate guy. That's pretty dumb and shitty. Fuck him. Um, like, oh yeah, my game doesn't have like any black people or Asian people, and it's like, well, I mean, it's not like those people did not exist in fucking Europe, dude. Like they were, believe it or not. Europe was not 100% white people back in the day. Um, and also, like, he talked about fucking Red Dead Redemption 2, or like this Kotaku article, I think, where they're like, hey, they need. I really hope that Red Dead Redemption 2 has some cool female characters, because that's pretty true to, like Western genre conventions, at least at this point. Um, and he was like, actually, uh, no. And it's the common narrative I see, with him, back when I used to be an edgy anti SJW gamer. Believe it or not, you might be looking at my mug and saying, Matt McMeme, are you seriously gonna tell me that you used to be an anti SJW gamer? Or were you a member of the Gamergate movement? I can't believe it. I can't even believe it. Uh, but like, it's this stupid ass narrative. I don't know how the fuck this got started, but people are like, would you rather have a game that has diversity, or would you rather have a game that tells a good story? Because that's the dichotomy here. You're either getting a game with decent representation, or you're getting a game with only straight white men and is good. Okay, those are your options here. And like, I don't know, if you're making a game with any like meaningful diversity, then I mean, you're fucking like, does that not in itself kind of facilitate the writing of interesting stories that haven't been told? And mostly, though, they're like, oh, well, I'm for diversity in gaming, that's all cool. But this forced diversity of, like, saying, hey, developers, maybe it would be cool if you didn't just have exclusively straight white men in your video game. Uh, maybe that would be okay. That's forced diversity, and you need to stop it, SJWs, because that's going to ruin the game. So, it's pretty dumb and foolish. Also, in that video, he brought up that, like, some people were mad. He said, like, literally, he just said this. He didn't show, like, an article or even any tweets or anything, but he said, yeah, some people were mad that, like, Irish, the character from Red Dead Redemption 1, was drunk all the time. That Rockstar were prejudiced against fucking Irish immigrants. Like, it's more of an anti SJW thing as far as I'm aware. Usually you guys are the ones that bring up Irish people a lot. Um that's just fucking funny, honestly. I don't think there's too many SJW types up in arms about the fucking treatment of Irish people. Uh, but yeah, I mean, gamers are just so dumb, dude. Like, it astounds me. Of course, there's the Battlefield 5 thing recently. Um, like, it ruins my fucking immersion in the historical accuracy. I need the fucking 100% immersion in my Battlefield, so that means you can't have any black people or women in my game. And the amount of fucking, follow shitty gamer takes on twitter.com. Because the amount of fucking like apocalyptic posts from gamers on Twitter about, wow, DICE, you're really ending the video gaming world on this one by putting a woman in Battlefield 5. Did you know that that's not even 100% historically accurate? There were like a small amount of women who fought in World War II. Okay, dude? So just why would you even put them in the game? Why would you even do that? And black people, they didn't even exist back then. It's so crazy. Um, there's a lot of There's so much bullshit in the world, and it's impossible to stomach it all. And it's impossible to stomach, pretty much any of it because we're not really meant to eat shit in general as humans. But you gotta do what you gotta do.